In an era where global pop stardom is systematically manufactured behind closed corporate doors, one independent voice from the United Kingdom has managed to completely shatter the historic monopoly of major music labels without signing a single mainstream contract. We open tonight's exclusive investigative broadcast with a profound structural shift that is currently redefining the entire hierarchy of the international entertainment establishment. For the better part of the last half-century, the definitive pathway to mainstream musical success was a tightly guarded gateway, heavily dictated by a handful of corporate executives operating out of major music hubs in London, New York, and Los Angeles. However, the modern digital landscape has an entirely new paradigm, one driven purely by organic public demand and decentralized distribution networks. Standing at the absolute vanguard of this cultural and economic shift is Lucy Thomas, an exceptional vocal powerhouse whose trajectory has left traditional media gatekeepers and corporate analysts thoroughly astonished. While mainstream radio networks routinely prioritize highly commercialized, auto-tuned pop acts backed by multi-million-dollar marketing machines, this independent phenomenon has quietly built a global empire based entirely on vocal purity and direct listener connection. Our investigative newsroom has closely tracked the digital metrics of her self-released catalog, revealing a level of audience retention that completely defies modern industry standards. Tonight, Alone dissects the precise financial and strategic blueprint of the Lucy Thomas phenomenon, mapping out exactly how an independent operation successfully bypassed the corporate machinery, and why her ongoing success is currently sending shockwaves through the executive boardrooms of the world's most dominant record labels. Modern music consumers can no longer be easily manipulated by artificial marketing campaigns. Instead, they are shifting toward absolute vocal authenticity, creating a multi-million user ecosystem that refuses to look away from Lucy Thomas. To truly understand the unprecedented scale of this global obsession, our report must look beneath the surface-level algorithms and directly address the shifting psychology of the contemporary music buyer. Journalistic analysis of Western media consumption indicates that audiences, particularly within the United States and Great Britain, are experiencing an acute fatigue toward overproduced, corporate-sponsored pop entertainment. The global public is actively searching for genuine, undeniable acoustic brilliance, a market void that Lucy Thomas fills with mathematical precision. Our investigation into her global streaming data reveals that her audience possesses an extraordinarily rare loyalty index, which means that once an individual encounters her performance, they are statistically 5 times more likely to subscribe, share, and purchase physical merchandise compared to fans of mainstream, label-backed celebrities. This intense consumer dedication has effectively established a self-sustaining financial ecosystem that operates entirely outside the traditional Hollywood framework. Every time an institutional network attempts to forcefully promote a manufactured pop act through traditional advertising, the international netizen community collectively points to Lucy Thomas as the definitive modern standard of organic artistic merit. This organic public pressure has systematically forced major chart-tracking organizations to recognize her staggering independent sales volume, confirming that her global footprint is not a temporary viral anomaly, but a calculated, permanent market disruption. Total copyright ownership has emerged as the most powerful leverage a musician can possess in the 21st century, and the absolute failure of major labels to control Lucy Thomas marks a historic defeat for the traditional entertainment hierarchy. The institutional core of our investigative broadcast focuses on a critical, yet frequently hidden business concept: the total retention of master recording copyrights. In the traditional operational framework of television talent competitions and major label scouting, emerging artists are almost universally coerced into signing predatory, highly restrictive corporate contracts. These legal documents effectively strip the performer of their creative autonomy, while surrendering a staggering 80 to 90% of all long-term royalties to parent conglomerates. For decades, traditional gatekeepers relied entirely on this systemic monopoly to maintain absolute dominance over an artist's career and lifetime earnings. However, the strategic team behind Lucy Thomas executed a definitive in modern digital commerce by completely avoiding this institutional trap from day one. By maintaining absolute 100% ownership of her master recordings and publishing rights, every single stream, physical album shipment, and digital view translates directly into uncapped corporate revenue for her independent label and absolute creative freedom for her brand. Inside sources and independent industry observers note that major record corporations are profoundly threatened by the undeniable success of this business model. If elite-tier vocalists collectively realize they can replicate the Lucy Thomas blueprint, the multi-billion-dollar corporate gatekeeping apparatus will face total obsolescence, proving the public is ready to finance art directly. When a legacy industry attempts to construct artificial walls to suppress independent talent, the collective force of millions of global music lovers will always act as the ultimate battering ram that tears those walls down. As we draw this investigative chronicle to a definitive close, the mathematical and cultural conclusions remain entirely unassailable. The international music establishment can no longer dictatorially determine who achieves legendary global status based solely on corporate financing, manufactured media hype, or institutional gatekeeping. The phenomenal career architecture of Lucy Thomas stands as a historic, permanent monument to what can be accomplished when pure, unadulterated talent is backed by an unstoppable, highly unified global community. She has single-handedly rewritten the economic rules of modern digital entertainment, proving definitively that an independent artist can stand completely equal alongside the most powerful corporate conglomerates in the world, and win on her own terms. Now, the investigative floor opens directly to our global viewership. How do you analyze the long-term survival of independent music in the face of continuous corporate consolidation? Will more mainstream artists break free from corporate contracts to replicate this massive financial blueprint? Share your detailed, objective perspectives in the comment section below. Ensure that you select the like button and subscribe directly to the Alone channel to secure your permanent access to our upcoming deep dive investigative reports, industry data, and analytical music breakdowns. This is our live report from the Alone corporate newsroom. Thank you for your continued international viewership, and we will see you in our next definitive report.